God is constantly preparing us for the next chapter in our lives. I'm going to tell you about a chapter that I had to be prepared for and I had no idea. And then I want you to think about, where am I at right now in my life? How is God using this chapter to prepare me for the next chapter? Right? I don't care if you're sitting at home watching true crime every day, right? Because why are you watching that anyway, especially if it gives you anxiety or, it has you double locking your doors or checking your windows. But what I'm getting is that God is actually putting you through certain tests, certain things, instilling you with certain knowledge. I don't care if it's from TV, I don't care if it's from music, but He's using your current environment and your current situation to prepare you for your next chapter. I used to watch true crime all the time and For My Man, and those things used to give me anxiety. They used to have me checking to make sure my windows are locked, checking to make sure my doors are locked, right? And I'd say about 2 years after, I first began watching those movies, right? Shows, crime, all of that stuff, right? I was basically an investigator. I was basically a detective, but regardless, 2 years later, I went through a situation, right, where I was kidnapped. Now, I made it out of that situation, but when I look back, God was preparing me to know how to get out of that situation. So think about your life right now. Think about where you are, what you're being prepared for, and the knowledge that you're getting. Because it's literally preparing you for your next chapter. So, if you don't want God to instill certain things in you to fight certain battles, then maybe you need to change your life around. Maybe you need to start watching some romance shows. Yeah. Maybe you need to start watching some cartoons, but really understand that you're being used, right? You're being tested. This is your life and you're in full control, but what are you feeding yourself right now that could be used, that God can use you with? What are you sharpening that God can use you with? I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.